I just want to give a little disclaimer about this video. It's pretty random. I was going to try to do a video for each one of the little projects that I did these past few days, but it just gets harder and harder to try to get the projects done and film. So for the most part, it's just a bunch of random bits of some of the stuff that got done the last few days. Hope you enjoy. Alright, so we're back at the trailer today. Fun times. If you remember one of my earlier videos, I did replace the floor in this trailer, but now I got to thinking that I probably wanted to redo the wiring. We tried hooking it up and we were gonna take it, and the wiring's not what it should be, and we'd like to make it, as long as we put all the effort into it, probably go ahead and try to fix up the wiring so that it's ready to go down the road if we do need it to go down the road. So I'm gonna do a little bit of work on it. So I'm actually going to run it all the way from the tongue. I'm gonna start fresh with new wire all the way, come up the tongue over. I'm gonna have to make a little junction right here. I don't know if you can see that. You make a little junction here for some clearance lights right up above, and run it all the way down. So that's the project for today. Get new wiring for clearance lights and fresh wire all the way down with a couple new lights, hopefully. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm gonna try to thread the new wire up through this little bitty hole right there up to there, and I wanted to try to make it as seamless as possible. I could have threaded some other wire through there, but I thought I would try to solder it and splice it. I'm gonna wrap some tape around it, and we're gonna see if we can't do this in one shot without losing it. Alright, so I got it all taped up, and now I'm just gonna try to pull this out the top. Doesn't look like it's gonna go very easy, but try to make it work. Just trying to make this as seamless as possible. Didn't give me much extra room to work with. Hopefully this doesn't pull apart. Hey, what do you know? I got it. Alright. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to solder a long piece to go the full length of the trailer and see if I can't pull it the whole way without getting it broken off. So that's the next project. Okay, so I soldered two of them, and I really tried to make sure to get both really good. This of course I'm using flux core solder, but really trying to get a good solder on there so that it doesn't come apart. And I'm going to try to feed it through that hole, and then I'll splice this wire with the end of this wire here. Let my camera focus there. So now I'm just going to try to get it to go the full length of the trailer. So hopefully you guys can get a little view of that if I can get my camera to work right. So I hit a little snag, a couple actually. For one, they spliced it in a couple different places, so it's been really tough to pull through. And then they chose the smallest bar to pull it through, and so it's really proven to be a pretty big challenge trying to pull this wire through. That's why I soldered it, because I knew it was going to be tight, but it's even tighter than I thought. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I probably got about 8 feet out of 20. It's, we'll see how it goes. So this is proving to be fairly challenging, just trying to get this little wire out with the multiple splices and the splices that I had to do. There was a splice in the middle of the trailer for a clearance light, and I had to splice it there also. And I really got lucky because I almost pulled apart a piece of my solder job. One came apart, luckily one held. So I'm not out of the woods yet, but I'm getting fairly close, I think. I've only got a little bit of wire, so I really hope that I'm there. It's a 25-foot roll and it's a 20-foot trailer, so it should be fairly close. Hopefully we can get it out. Well, my last splice that I had done just broke after going the full length of the trailer. So all I've got is these little pieces sticking out. I'm gonna have to get some pliers, see if I can pull it out. Hopefully I'm just this close. Hopefully we can get it out. What's happening is on the other end, because these holes that I'm trying to feed it through are so small, it keeps hanging up. And I thought I had it all the way through. I saw the tape come through where I made my splice, and I pulled too hard and it broke my splice. It didn't actually break where I soldered it, it actually broke the wire. I was pulling pretty hard. Hopefully I didn't break it somewhere down the line, and we'll see how it goes. See if I can get the pliers and tug on it a little bit and see if we can't get it to come through. Okay, so we got really lucky. I think next time I will probably go ahead and splice all 4 wires and maybe not put tape on there. I think the tape just, rather than keeping it from hanging up, it just wadded up inside of there. Lesson learned. I haven't really ever tried to feed it through something this small before, but I think less is better. So I'm gonna go ahead and, I think rather than trying to feed through too much through so that I can make it down to the tail lights, I'll probably just splice it right here, put a clearance light, run it over to the other side for the other light, and then that way I don't have to run it all the way down the other side of the trailer for the other lights. I was just going to run a whole new wire for the other side. That way I could do all my clearance lights and everything off of one side, but I think that this way would probably be better. I'll just put a little junction right here and solder it all together, make sure that it's nice and clean. Alright, so it's definitely taken me a lot longer than I expected it to. Of course, everything takes me about 180% longer than what I think it should, but anyway, I've got the wires run all the way to the back of the trailer in one long run, nice and clean. And then I've got the marker lights, or the tail lights. These would just be the marker lights, run across the top to there and right down there. And then I went ahead and ran them all the way to the back, even though it's not going to tie in the back. That'll just be all the markers all the way down that side. And then these right here are going to run down and to the tongue. This trailer's never had trailer brakes, so I didn't worry about it, but all I really need to do is just pull a little piece out of there so that I can do a marker on that side, and then I've got it run all the way over the top to the other side. I got a piece here to run some marker lights or tail lights up top, and then this piece here goes down to the bottom to the tail light, and this is the end right here. So I feel like I got quite a ways. Really all I got to do is get some tail lights and marker lights and wire up the plug, and I'm ready to go. Everything now shouldn't be anything really to hold me up too much. So anyway, it's about dark and gotta go do some chores, but I thought I'd give you an update, and we'll pick it back up tomorrow. So this is just me connecting the wires and doing a little solder job just to kind of show you how I've been doing it. Just wiring it up, this tail light right here, and showing you how I've been doing it. I'm really a firm believer in using LEDs. A lot of these trailers go down bumpy roads quite a bit, and just being out in the weather all the time, they just really seem to hold up quite a bit better than the old incandescent lights. No changing them out or anything, they just last forever, so it's great. Alright, nice and fresh. Got our wire taped up a little bit, and we'll just tuck it back up in there just a little bit. I like to leave the wires long just in case something happens. I got something that I can pull and splice and do. So there you go, nice fresh light. So just one of the chores we've been having to deal with today. We moved the cows because they're to a different pasture. Wasn't much feed in this pasture. Anyway, this cow left her calf and we couldn't find it, so we had to come back down today, and we roped the calf and got her in the trailer, but the cow didn't want to hop in, so we're taking the calf to the corrals, and we'll get this cow loaded up and just one more thing to check off the list for today. And of course, there's always the mishaps in the middle of all your projects that you gotta break in. Had a nice little broken water line we found. And we got the electric fence back up around the house, and the cows moved. Hopefully they getting a little bit more to eat. I don't know if you can see the posts over there, but we put in a gate so that we can come through the electric fence, so that was good. It was pretty hard digging. There was just some straight clay, hard as rock. Anyway, that took us a while. So I got the trailer lights all finished up. Got the clearance lights, all new wire going on, and got the plug going. Got the transmission oil changed done on the F250. So there's the pan, all nice and fresh and clean. And one thing we don't want to forget at all is this magnet. Goes right there. That would be bad to forget that. Keeps all your metal shavings out of your transmission parts. So there's the underside of the transmission pan. Everything looks pretty good. That oil is pretty dirty. You can see the dipstick. Put that back in. Pulled it out while I was draining it, but everything's pretty good there. Pretty complex little piece of equipment nowadays. Everything went pretty smooth except for when I dropped the filter right there. That was no bueno. Anyway,